nobody's talking about this. Nobody's thinking like that. Nobody. It is a transaction. It's I go to the bank, get my money out. No one's thinking about what your bank can do for you, and just stopping you from getting. I mean, the car thing is huge. Even if you don't want to do business or Turo like we do, if at some point in your life you're gonna buy a new or used car, and just to not know you're being hoodwinked with the price, and we all. I mean, I'm talking about business people are getting hoodwinked. What's up, everybody? We are back again with another episode of The Journey. I'm super excited about who we have here today for multiple reasons. This gentleman has helped me and is still trying to help me. Got some things for sure we're working on. But more importantly, he's kind of opened my eyes to some important things that I think all entrepreneurs should know. And it really relates to, your financing, your funding, and just the way you show up when you're going into certain rooms and talking to certain people that can help you with those topics. So, this guy is a entrepreneur himself. He is a small business banker. So we actually have a banker, someone inside the inner workings of the building is with us today. And he's also been a good friend. We've hung out. Great ideas. This guy is a genuine dude who'll help you as much as he can. And without any further ado, I want to welcome to the show, Jack Lee.
Good. Thank you for having me this morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for taking some time and kicking it with us.
Of course, man. I think these conversations are important. I think it's important. A lot of us, we all out here trying to get it. I always say, what resources you have, what information you have. More importantly, what team you got around you.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, if I can invest in other people and be part of that team, I mean, that's what I feel like I've been called to do.
Yeah. So, no, that's dope, man. And I was, even how we met at this networking sort of event thing, and you were very open, very willing to help anybody in the room, giving people that advice. And you a younger man yourself. I mean, what has been, just from a job standpoint, what do you think has made you successful in your role? Because if I'm not mistaken, you're one of the only Black leaders in your role for your company. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So what's the secret?
I would say favor. I would say favor from God, for one.
Yes, amen.
I was blessed where when I got into my role, I started many, many years ago, entry level. And I had a passion behind finances. I've always been a numbers guy. And so I kind of left banking for a little bit, got some management experience, came back. An opportunity was given to me by one gentleman in particular. He saw something in me, but what he did was, before he put me in a position I wasn't ready for, he put me one under it so I could get the necessary skill set, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I was like, all right, well, he dangling this corporate carrot in front of me, but he didn't. He told me he was gonna groom me. He did it, gave me an opportunity, and it kind of took off from there. And so then, I became a financial leader at 26 years old.
Wow.
One of the youngest in the company to do it, I'm assuming. And so, but I think what's driving me, this is my why. Like, I enjoy investing in other people genuinely. I feel like when you genuinely enjoy doing something, then you gonna get your blessings.
Yeah.
Right. When you're doing it because you really want to see people win, it's gonna come back to you.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's up, because one, not everybody's like that. Mm-hmm. And just two, I like what you said about you almost had to, sounds like you had to be humble for a little bit, because you didn't get it right away. It's like you start off at this entry level position and someone promised you something. People make a lot of promises
all the time,
right? So
especially in corporate America,
right? So how do you know which ones was real and which is not? And so what made you stick it out when you were feeling like, is this guy just dangling this in front of me, or is this really going to happen? What were the signs where you were like, okay, I know this guy's here to help me?
Man, I think in life, you bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You like, look, in the day, I know I'm too great not to succeed.
Yeah.
So it's like, whether I'm going to get it from this door or another door. I mean, sometimes God will close the window, open the door, right? So it's like, look, I know I'm going to succeed.
Come on, man. It's a matter
of how I'm going to get it.
Yeah, that's powerful.
For sure.
Gotta open a window.
Close the window, open the door.
Close a window.
Open the door.
Then open the door.
Yeah, that actually has happened to me a few times in my life, where I'm like, dang, man, I thought this was the plan.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nah.
No.
I'm like, why it ain't the player?
Right.
And then next thing I know, I'm like, man, and I'm losing focus. And he like, hey, stay fast, and I'll walk through something even greater. So
yeah. No, that's dope, man. So that's cool. Okay, so now you're moving and grooving through. You're a leader at 26, and you genuinely love to help people. Right. It's worked out for you thus far. So tell me now, like as your career has taken off, and you're starting to deal with small business banks and that sort of thing. What would be your number one tip for entrepreneurs as it relates to one, dealing with bankers, getting when is the right time to like make yourself known to them, all that sort of thing?
I say it's the relationship, right? Mm-hmm. Man, I can't stress this part enough because banking has changed. Back in the day, and this is what I'm being told because I wasn't there back in the day. Yeah, banking was very much a handshake type thing. Mm. You walk in, we like the way it sound. A lot of the power and decisions was within the actual the leadership in the branch. Right now, banking, and rightfully so, it's now a lot more scrutinized and it's regulated. Mm-hmm. And I think that was important because you had to have certain standards and controls to make sure that lending was being done fairly. Right. Back in the day, loans was easy to get, but now they're always the most fairest. Yeah. So now it's a lot more. Okay, make sure that regardless of race and stuff like that, we're doing it, we're audited. But now what comes along with that is, do you have someone that's on your side to make sure that you are being given access and information? Uh-huh. Right? So you think about, I tell you, look, when you walk in the bank, do you know what questions to ask? Right. Right. Like the first thing I do is, I have a client fill out a statement. Mm-hmm. Well, part of the education in the investment in them is, let's make sure that we're filling this out properly. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When you walk in the bank, I say, look, it should never be a question whether or not you're going to get the loan. You may not know the terms. I would say, look, but then at the same time, go on their website, do your own research, find out, what are the terms for this product? What's the years for the collateral? Yeah. What's the LTV, right? What's the DTI requirements? And educate yourself enough and know these things. Yeah, say that last one? So again? Like LTV. LTV stands for loan to value. Okay, loan to value. DTI. Debt to income, right? These are very common bank jargon. Yeah. And a lot of times people are walking there uneducated and they're intimidated by it. No, I say, know just enough to have a conversation. One of the things about life is when you are dealing with a professional or an expert or something, when you know how to handle yourself and ask what questions, mm-hmm. you're going to automatically get a certain level of buy-in from them. Oh, man, he or she know what they talking about. Because you done done your research. Right, you done your research. Yeah. Right, so now at this point, it's like, you'll kind of make them kind of set their game up because like, well, shoot, I don't know what you know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm assuming you don't know much. Right. But dang, man, you use some terms. Whoa, hold on, what you talking? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, so and then what happens, you set the tone. Yeah. I remember when I was buying my house right before closing, the broker tried to up my rate from 3.25% to 4%. And I asked him, I said, man, you know what I do for work? I said, you forgot what I do, right? Right? And he telling me all these reasons why I had to go up. And so long story short, he tried to get over on me. Yeah. And because of my, so the rate actually went from 3.25% to 2.5%. Wow. Right? After you got double. Right. And on top of that, they waived the origination fee, the $1,000. Wow. And then I told the dude, and I told his managers, I was done with him. I told him, I said, look, man, here's the problem I have though. How many people have y'all done this to? Right. Everybody. Right? Everybody else. I'm like, so you got to think, then 95% of the population you would have got over on, but you couldn't me because I knew. So again, but it's just knowing enough. So that's why you lean on experts that can teach you, people that genuinely want to be in your corner. So talk about that though. You knew that something was happening. This happened at the closing table. Yeah, no, right before closing. We was buying a house, new construction house, and he was like, yeah, because we pulled your wife's credit and it had went down, and also because this and that and there. I'm like, dude, nothing you saying is even relevant. I said, you dropped the ball. So I don't know if he didn't lock a rate. I don't know what he did. Okay. I mean, I knew the market had probably went up some. Yeah. I don't know if they were trying to charge me points. I don't know what he was doing. He just made up something and it was... I called him out on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking him questions. And then in the end, I'm like, yeah, because you ain't got nothing to say. So I said, let me speak to your manager. Right. And I talked through the manager. He was like, yeah, man, you're right. He's like, yeah, you're right. He was like, it's our fault. Dude had pulled credit 2-3 extra times. He had me pull prematurely from my 401k that I was using for my down payment. So now I got money out the market and I'm missing out on gains. I'm like, dude, you're not doing this right. You know what I'm saying? And so in the end, we were supposed to get 3 1/4. We went down to 2.5.
Wonderful.
He waived $1,000 origination fee. Yeah. And the only ask, he was like, man, he said, only asked the man, said, look, no, just don't take the survey. You know what I'm saying? He's like, come on. He's like, yo, what you want? I say, okay. But again, my bigger issue is when you think about legacies, right? You think about the cost of life. 2.5 to 4%. That's 150 basis points. You gotta think, man, how much money is that gonna cost me over my 30-year mortgage?
Yeah, absolutely. So explain that real quick, basis points and how big of a difference that is when it comes to your loan. Because most people don't even know the term basis points.
It's a fancy word for pretty much saying your interest rate, right? Because you can buy a loan, you can buy rates down. So when you got someplace, you might pay a certain amount of money. Yeah, right. They lowered so many basis points. Right. Okay. It's terminology like that, but it's just essentially the cost of the loan, the cost of the debt. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you think about, man, 1.5%, it's big. Yeah. You think about what it is over 30 years. It's a lot, man. Enormous. You do the math, man, so that's enormous. Yeah. And so you think, I'm gonna jump for a second. I was on a credit lecture one time, a credit seminar, and somebody made a very good point I had never thought about. He said, you think about, you got two people, they make the same amount of money from a salary standpoint. They can buy the same house, the same cars. One person got an 800 credit score, one person got a 600. They like, the terms that person with the 800 is going to get is going to be so much better. Wow. That 600 credit score, man, they're going to pay so much more money in their lifetime for the same stuff. Wow. Right? And so what happens is they'll be able to save less, they'll be able to do less. They're going to have to invest more to counteract their expenses of life. And so that person with higher credit, man, they're going to be able to retire in a better position. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, life is going to simply cost them less. Yeah. I'm like, man, them 3 numbers got a really big effect. And it ain't the end all be all, but best believe them 3 numbers make a big difference. I mean, I work in banking. Right. Right. And I mean, I know how much more you paying when your credit's more challenged. Right. So I'm like, look, I know it's frustrating, but you got to play the game. And so to your point, you need to go in knowing. Don't go in ignorant. Go in having done your research about the terms, the DTI, the LTV, the BBC. The BNI, you know what I'm saying? I tell people, look, hey, when you walk in the bank, I know I'm approved. Yeah. This ain't no if. This is a matter of how, it's really ain't about how much. It's just, what's the term? Yeah, what's the term? Because, you don't know that. You know what I mean? You ain't going to know that. But, no, I know I'm approved. I ain't worried about that. Yes. Don't walk in there and be nervous. Right. I know I'm good. Yeah. I just don't know the terms you're going to give me the money. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good. Yeah. Don't be in there shaking.
Nah, be in there like you say, boo, they about to jump. Nah, man, it's okay. Take a deep breath, man. I'm going to walk you through this process.
But banking is intimidating, to people. And it shouldn't be, I guess. Shouldn't
be. I think sometimes you walk in there and you like, dang, man, I can't relate to the person in front of me. I think sometimes it's a little intimidating.
Because not everyone is going to give you that sort of, like you said, you help walk people through the application.
I'm holding your hand.
Now, would you say that's uncommon for a banker to do? Or if I guess for our listeners, if a banker's not doing that, maybe they want to think about getting up and going to another bank.
But you got to think about it, man. A lot of people in these banks are order takers because they don't even know the stuff. I mean, I went to a bank I'm not going to name, and I was like, I said, I want to apply for an auto loan. She was like, all right. She said, I'm going to send you the link. I said, well, she's like, yeah, you just go and fill it out yourself. So there's no added value to you. Yeah. So then you gotta ask yourself, you not being developed as an institutional expert. Right? You sending me a link that I could have just went and did it myself. Right. There's no value of talking to you. Right. Right? Where when you come to me, I'm gonna say, all right, bet. So let's talk through, what are we trying to buy? What's your price range? Have you went to the dealership? Do this. Send me a bill of sale. Send me the VIN number. Let me run that VIN number and make sure that you're getting fair market value, right? Now, let me get you pre-approved so that way you can talk price instead of monthly payment. Wow. Because you go to the dealership, they want you to talk monthly payment. Yeah. They want you to literally forget how much you're paying for this car out the door, right?
You totally forget.
Right. And so I tell people, I'm like, man, don't ever tell them your monthly payment. I'm like, because then you done showed your hand. Period. But people don't get that. Gems. It's funny. You walk in there like, all right, well, Steve, how much can you afford? Like $400 a month. Well, he got you then.
Right. All right.
Bet.
For
So, hey, you gonna put any money down? And then, they'll print out that thing to show you, like, if you put this down, it's this amount. And it's fictitious numbers. And here's my favorite. Like, hey, man, so you telling me, so I'm going to draw this X. you go sign it. This X don't mean nothing. But we it's like when we sign something, we think we obligated to it. That's going to be nothing. I said, nah, because now when you say I can afford $400 a month, you said, Mr. Car Salesman, as long as you can add on, you can charge whatever you want to charge for that car. You can add on all these warranties and packages I don't even know about. But as long as $400 a month, I'm agree to it.
Right.
They're going to be like, man, I got you at $412. They add on all this crap. They done made the loan 72 months, added on paint protection and all this crap, windshield wiper replacement for lifetime. And then you don't even know. And you like, yeah, man, I got them. No, you didn't.
Ooh, windshield wiper replacement for a lifetime.
No, you didn't. But so I'm like, no, man, you go to your bank first and you get pre-approved.
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, Mr. Car Salesman, I'm paying cash.
Yeah.
So, this car you want, bump the month payment, it's $42. I want to pay $39.8 tag titles and fees out the door. And you say, look, at the end of the day, I know you ain't gonna take a deal that ain't gonna make you money. Quite frankly, I don't care if you make money. That's your job. And then I always tell them, I say, look, and don't tell them you got to trade in.
Yeah.
Right? Because, if you understand how the game work, if you negotiate the car to the lowest price possible, and then you don't say, no trading in, and then you be like, oh, you know what? Damn, I am gonna trade in my car. But now you done back them in the corner. Because see, a lot of times people they'll ask you the very first thing you got to trade in first thing. Because now I'm gonna correct the trading value in the price of that car.
Right.
But if you don't negotiate me down to the very bottom, like, oh, I got to trade in, dude. I forgot I did drive something here, didn't I?
I forgot I did drive something.
Dang it, man. Hey, and so now, so we done negotiate down to
gems right now. Go ahead.
So now we done negotiate down to $35,000. Now I know that's my baseline because I'm out the door $35,000.
Yeah. So
whatever you gonna give me for that car trading value, you got to take it from the bottom line.
Right.
So now if you run that car through and you like, oh man, Mr. Lee, we think it's worth $8. All right, so now it's 35 minus 8. So I can do the math on that. Oh, we at 27, Playboy. But see, I did that one time. Dude, he looked at me and said, man, he said, don't you ever do that again. And I'm like, whoa, dude, I'm the consumer here. Because you've taken away the leverage.
Yeah.
So now I'm paying cash for my pre-approval from the bank. I'm not getting into this dance with you. And now I'm hitting you with the trade-in game. Man, so my point, that's the value you get. So I'm coaching my clients on that.
Yeah.
You come to me for I'm not sending you a link. We're going to talk through, hey, man, let's make sure you win.
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're going to do. And we're going to run this play together. Like, to me, man, that's the value of a relationship bank and a relationship banker over just going to a bank that's like, whatever.
Yeah. And so that's why we got to think about these big name banks that most of us all have accounts at.
Yeah.
And that's fine, right? You can have an account there. But when it comes time to getting your loan, buying your car, buying your house, I think this is great advice because we've got to, like you said, think, are they adding any value to you? And we've gotten so used to not getting anything, just going in and, all right, I'll just I'll just take the link, versus going and trying to find, am I having a relationship with this banker? Am I getting any sort of indication that they actually care about me and what am my financial future or the decision I'm about to make? Do you find, because your bank's not small, but it's not the biggest in the country.
Yeah, we top 20.
Y'all top 20. Y'all still a big bank. So how do people, in addition to just going in there and finding out somebody don't care about you, how would you suggest somebody pick a bank, and what are the things they need to think through to try to ascertain if, is there going to be a relationship here or is there not? Man,
I say you got to interview your bank like you interview for a job. You interview a spouse, right? Your daughter bring home a boyfriend or vice versa. You gonna interview them, right?
Right.
Do the same thing with your banker. Walk in there and say, look, man, like, what value can you add to my situation?
Yeah.
Right? I'm a business owner. What value can you add to my business? It's funny. I told somebody, this is one thing I believe in. Every business owner, which you got certain things, right? You got an accountant or a CPA.
Yep.
Right?
I do.
Right? Some business owners gonna have a real estate agent, possibly.
Yep.
You might have an attorney.
Yep, got that.
Right? You gonna have a banker.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have an insurance guy, girl. So you got certain relationships.
Yeah.
The funny thing about it is that your attorney, your real estate agent, your accountant, your broker, you pay them.
Yeah.
Right? Had someone say, oh man, it's like, man, my real estate agent, my cousin. Bet. So that's cool. Not pay him when you close that deal and see how,
see how much longer he's gonna be your cousin.
Right? But when it comes to your banker, see, you don't compensate that person directly. Right? And so why do I bring that point up? It has to be a mutual intentionality for both client and banker. Right? Because at the end of the day, I think that banker might have a lot of clients. And so when stuff come out that could benefit you, is he or she picking up the phone and saying, hey, Steve, I got something good for you. Yeah. Right? Like, you want to be in the know. So I tell people, like, look, when you built that rapport with your banker, man, literally, you check in on him and her vice versa. Because at the end of the day, you want to make sure that person know, hey, I'm in your corner and I'll make sure you in mine. So make it intentional. People don't, it's thing of like, man, they'll walk in there and sometimes they'll get the what can you do for me, right? But it's like, but understand, man, it need to be a mutual value thing. Right. So what I would do is I would walk in the bank, the business owner, I would actually speak to the business banker or the manager, right? And I want to say, hey, man, why do you work here? Right? What makes you separate from Instant Bank here? Tell me a little about you. Build that rapport. Yeah. Then you want to take it a next step further. Say, hey, look, man, how can I help you grow your business? Yo, imagine if you walked in a bank to a bank and say, yo, how can I help you grow your business? Wow. Right? Because when you do that, oh man, they're gonna do anything they can do for you. Yeah. Because now you like, dang, this person care. You know what I mean?
He care about me. Right. As well.
Man, if you would do that, you would get. They would work. They would do anything they could in their power to make sure that you could get whatever you could get. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would tell people to do. Look at it as like, hey, add that bank. That bank is essential to your team at that point. Yeah. Right. I mean, and that's how you maximize your banking relationship.
Ooh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. These are diamonds right here.
But see, most people don't, they look at, but see, we so transactional based in society now.
Oh, so transactional. Because it's like, you talk to your grandparents and stuff like that, they always wanted to go to the bank, but because everything.
They knew people.
They knew people.
They was inviting their bank to their baby showers and stuff.
Exactly. They know names. Hey, Susan. Yeah. Just like, I don't know nobody's name. But what you're teaching even me right now is that you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Because the thing about it, you ain't giving nothing up. Yeah. That's a great thing about it. It ain't no money being exchanged at all.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at that point, but your win for you is, dang, I know that when I need something, this person gonna work their hardest to make sure try to get it for me. Yeah. Or they gonna keep me in the loop. If a program come out, a CD promotion come out, they getting away with a refer fee. Yeah, I know they gonna look out. Yeah, they gonna call you. Yeah. Yeah. And you want to be that person.
Do you find that some of your best clients do that?
100%.
Okay. So it's gotten to the point where the relationship is
100%.
100%.
Man, I've been blessed, man. I got clients where, and it's funny because I got clients where I'll be with them and their phone ring off the entire time. They got 2-3 assistants. You can't get them. And I'll call them like, hey, hi, Jack, I'm there. Hey, man, I had one dude was like, look, man, I asked for 2 people. No, he said 3 people. He answered for God, my wife, and you. I'm like, well, appreciate that. He said, you can call anytime, too. But that's that. It's a mutual respect. And then to that point, I'm a gatekeeper for them. Yeah. Don't come through me to get my client, nah. Right. Because at that point, I'm part of your team and vice versa. Right. But I know, man, if I call them, they're going to answer the phone. It's just a mutual respect there because we know we got a commonality, and that's the success of each other.
Right. And so and as business owners, especially to your point, talk to the manager, talk to the business banker, but think of your banker as an extension of your team. 100%. And so now stop going into things alone. Don't go purchase that house alone. Don't go purchase that car alone. Run it by your business. Hey, business banker. Hey, banker, I'm thinking about purchasing these cars for my fleet. Can you just take a look at it if you get a chance.
Does it make sense?
Yeah. Does this make sense? Is there anything y'all can do? Anything I need to do? It's a great question.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create you a profile. We're gonna fill out that statement. I need to know all your assets and your liabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So then that way, as we move throughout your financial game plan, we're not doing something today that affects your tomorrow. See, a lot of times, my job as your banker to make sure, look, man, don't make a spur of the moment decision. Right? If I know you got a 5-year plan to buy a warehouse, right? Am I gonna really let you 2 years before that plan? I'm gonna let you, buy a Lamborghini yours? It don't make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing, right? We gotta understand. What are we trying to call? That's a true story, by the way.
Really?
It's like, dude, why are you buying this?
Yeah, I really been getting this Lambo because
he said it. He called me on the weekend. I'm like, this is a joke, right? It's just like, nah, flat out, we're not doing this. You buy this, I'm not your banker no more. But nah, but seriously,
that's dope.
Talk because it's like your doctor, man. Like your banker, your doctor, but you got to be truthful when you feel comfortable. I tell people, I'm like, look, don't lie to me because I got to know what all you got going on so I can give you my best recommendation. It's like going to the doctor and not telling them that you got a particular pain or you experiencing something.
Yeah.
Well, how you going to properly diagnose you and give you the right prescriptions if you don't know what's going on? Your banker should be the same. I'm your financial doctor. I'm your financial doctor, right? And my bankers are my nurses, Wow. And it's like we a team where we working together to service our needs of our client. That's kind of the way I look at it. When you step into a bank, you step into my office.
Yeah. That's fire, man. That's beautiful. That's fire, and I want to just go on record and apologize. I haven't contacted you enough, and I'm gonna do better.
I won't try to. Yeah, you quit. I won't be. You ain't supposed to be catching strays, man. You ain't supposed to be catching strays. I'm just saying.
Let's get cookies to the office on Monday. No, I'm kidding, but that's super important, and I think it's going to be super helpful for our viewers because nobody's talking about this. Nobody's thinking like that. Right. It is a transaction. Right. I go to the bank, get my money out. No one's thinking about what your bank can do for you and just stopping you from getting. The car thing is huge. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't want to do business or Turo like we do, if at some point in your life you're going to buy a new or used car, and just to not know you're being hoodwinked with the price, and we all, I'm talking about business people are getting hoodwinked,
dude. And it be
focused
funny.
on the monthly payment.
They be the smartest people too.
Yeah.
And I got them, man. No, you didn't. Did you send your monthly payment? Yeah, you ain't get them.
Right.
You don't know because these dealerships get kickbacks from the lenders anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they incentivize to do that. So it's but those type of tasks, man, buying a house, applying for different you got all that stuff. It's ways to go about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But the car one just funny. Like I said, we all do it.
Yeah.
And I've done it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just type of dude, man, I love buying a car.
Yeah.
Because I embrace it.
Now you know.
I just stare at you. I had a car, so I was just staring up. And he's sweating. I'm just like, yeah. And you can say, he's like, man, I got the wrong one today. So, but it's, but you just got, when you got the knowledge, man, you're good.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Okay, tell me this. You see, you in the banking world, you in the finance world, a lot of people are nervous about the economy. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, folks been nervous about it.
Oh yeah, we've been nervous a while.
I remember when I bought my house in 2019, everything was that it was about to be a recession. Mm-hmm. And then COVID hit, and there was like a mini recession for a couple months, and then everything did the opposite. Right. Everything went higher, business boomed. And, while inflation has been crazy in the world in these last, 2 to 3 years, there is this, I've heard it recently, this, especially online, a lot of folks say, hey, we're either in a recession right now or we're about to be in a recession. Some of these big hedge fund folks, I always wonder what that really means. So my question to you is, one, should your regular Joe Blow be concerned about a recession? Should your business owners, entrepreneurs be concerned about recession? If so, what do we need to do?
Right. Good question. Great question. I think you have to understand what it means for you. A lot of people hear stuff on the news and freak out and it ain't even applicable to them. Mm. Right? That's like, to me, that's like hearing a hurricane about to hit California and you going and you in Carolina buying water. It's like, they got to shoot. You on the other side of the world.
Shuttering up your windows.
Like you putting sandbags on the door like I'm getting ready. So what I mean by that, you got to look at, let's use some common sense for a second, right? At the end of the day, look at your lifestyle and where you are, right? and think about how do you make a living? Like seriously, how do you make a living? And you got to think, if they pull back on consumer spending, is that going to stop me? And do I work in a field or an industry people going to do it regardless? What I mean by that? I said, do you think McDonald's was affected by the recession? Do you think plumbers, electricians, HVAC workers, you think it was, now, yeah, by the pandemic, not the recession. You could argue that, yes, they might have saw some supply chain issues.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, 'cause I'm their banker, right? They weren't affected from a cash flow standpoint.
Yeah.
Some of my tradesmen and women, man, it was like, dude, they're like, I'm sorry people died. They're like, but they're like, revenue-wise, it was my best years because people was home.
Right.
Using this stuff more often, right?
Right.
I think about even like that, so I'll say this. My thing is on a recession, I always say, look, do a good job with your debt management, right? Because, no one can say, if you work a 9 to 5, you don't know whether or not you're going to keep your job. Now, some jobs you would think, well, I probably got a little more job security than others.
Yeah.
But you never know stuff that might come down the pipeline. Same thing if you're a business owner. Think about what product you sell, what service you sell. This is something that, look, if money get tight, are people going to cut you off?
Yeah.
So I think about healthcare normally fine.
Yeah.
But, if you maybe do hair, nails, or you sell a product that's not a necessity, well, people might trim that off. They might trim the fat a little bit, right? If you a travel agent, people might not be taking trips for a little while.
Right.
I think you got to be realistic and say, what would I stop spending extra money on if my money got tight? But it don't affect everybody the same way. And then also recession, it don't even affect all areas the same way either.
Yeah.
If you look at some stuff statistically, a lot of housing markets, prime example, they said that during the pandemic, they said rents in majority of metropolitan cities decreased or became stagnant. It's like 8 cities that rents continue going up. Charlotte was one of them. Charlotte, I think Austin, I think Nashville. So it don't affect the whole country the same way.
Right.
But the biggest thing, man, is your debt management, your debt schedule. I think credit card debt's like an all-time high right now.
Okay.
So I tell people, I'm like, how much debt do you have? And I'm not talking about mortgage debt. I'm not talking about asset debt.
Yeah.
Right. I'm talking about, the straight liability, like the credit cards, the excessive car payments. I think like the average car payment is like $700.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
Yeah, nuts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no. So during a recession, think about that. But then a lot of people don't even understand the definition of a recession, right? A definition of a recession is where you don't see things like you don't see two quarters of non-growth or something like that.
Okay.
That's like the economic definition. So when people hear recession, like, you don't even know what it even means.
Right.
Really.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So from an economic standpoint, we done had we done had a few recessions by the economic definition, but people aren't even affected. They be like, the housing market is about to fall or about to crash. Is it though? Because we've been saying that for a while too.
Right.
I would actually argue that right now, for me, I'm like, if I was in the market to buy, I would buy me something right now. You remember 2 summers ago when you couldn't even buy a house because the second it would hit the market, it was gone. Yeah. Like now you can actually negotiate with sellers right now.
Yeah.
So why not buy the house today, and then when the recession do hit, guess what normally happens? It means that rates normally go down.
Yeah.
So then you refinance your house.
Yep.
Right? So you turn, I bought my house during COVID. I bought my house during COVID. Best investment I could have made.
That's wonderful, because when everyone else thinks it's an issue or a problem,
right?
That's probably the time for you to do your research and see this might be an opportunity.
Right. Most people, it don't even affect, right?
Yeah.
If you got investments on the market, you might decide you might switch up your investment strategy, right? Looking at bonds and treasury, stuff like that, and yields and stocks, but that ain't most people. So I'm like, you run a recession, it don't even really affect you like that.
Yeah. No, that's good. All right, let me ask you this. I know we don't have all day, even though I'd love to keep you all day, but let me ask you about working a job and being entrepreneurial. Okay. Working a job, that's really big for me, myself. I tell that to our listeners. You can work a job and be entrepreneurial. It is possible. So all this talk about, quit your job and job is just over broke and da-da-da-da. No, there are some good jobs out there. Just because you don't have one don't mean they don't exist. So what would you say on that piece? How much of a strategy is that? Obviously, you do entrepreneurial things and you work. What's your advice to people on that if they seek to do that?
I would say first, get good at your job. Get good at your job.
Yeah.
Take whatever amount of years, in the grand scheme of your lifetime, what's a few years ain't that, get good at your job.
Yeah.
Get so good at your job that you can almost do it, with one hand tied behind your back. Figuratively speaking.
Yeah.
Right?
That's good.
And then while you're there, leverage it in a sense of maybe you can grow your network. How many times in life have you been blessed because you just met someone?
Right.
Just met somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about you never know who's gonna walk in the job. Man, I used to work at the airport. I met so many people at the airport.
Yeah.
Who were successful. Mm-hmm. I rented cars. I would go to the people renting the nice ones and say, "Hey man, what you do? Who are you? Can I get your business card?" Right? Because you never know what connection might change your life. Get good at your job, grow your network, and then you save up and you invest in something else for yourself. I know so many people. They're gonna be lifetimers for their company, but they still got stuff on the side. I mean, you got to.
Yeah.
Like, who don't do that?
Yeah.
I mean, because technically, even if you just investing in stock, you still investing in yourself outside of your job.
Right.
Right. So I tell people, it ain't no knock on your job.
Yeah.
But why not do something for yourself? Why not invest in real estate? Right. If you got some free time on the weekend, why not do another business? And I always say, obviously check with your company. Mm-hmm. Right. Don't do anything that's going to be a competition with your company.
Right.
Like,
you selling donuts and working at Krispy Kreme.
Like,
yeah, but if you don't like these, run out the back.
Meet me out back. I got something for you. I got my burger. But don't do that. But seriously, man, like, so do something for yourself to create your own legacy. And then also to be your passion project. Yeah. Like I say a lot of times, like, man, what I'm doing outside of work is something I'm really passionate about, because your job sometimes you can't make it sometimes, but you want to make it. Right? You want to enjoy what you do, but let's be quite frank, it ain't just exactly how you would have written the script. Right. So if you bless and you make decent money, right, why not invest in something else where you can actually write that script? Right. And script from the standpoint of, man, like, what's my why? Yeah. Like what is my why? What is my passion? It's cliche, but like, what would I do for free? Right. What would I do for free? Yeah. Facts. Create that on the side.
And you know what I like about that is that I feel like, and maybe you can attest to this, it also makes you overall a better employee. Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. Yeah. So I'm already good at my job, but now that I'm participating in the economy in other ways, it also benefits my job. Right. Because I'm learning things about this, that, and the third, and now I can, Right.
So if you can tie the two together, that's a beautiful marriage.
Right. Absolutely.
Right. And not in the sense of what one takes from the other, which doesn't matter, but I can use my expertise here, apply it here, and then vice versa.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's good. So we encourage people to do that. Let me ask you this too. So you meet a lot of people. You deal with a lot of people that obviously need bank, have money, or don't, or trying to get money. What would you say from some of your highest seemingly net worth clients? What are some of the things they do that you like notice, or how do they act? What are their characteristics like? Are they pulling up in Lambos every day?
No, they don't. Man, that's the funniest thing. The whole old money, new money. Yeah. I can always tell. I'm like, yeah, you just made it. And be happy, It's almost like, they come up there, you gonna put your car key on the desk so I can see it. Why your key on the desk, man? Put it right in your pocket. Yeah. Oh, let me dig on in here. Yeah. Why are we doing that? Yeah, man. I gotta these tires. My tires $2,000 each. But it's okay, cool. If that's your thing, I love you for it. Oh man. If you can afford it, great, good for you. Yeah. But seriously though, the biggest thing they do, they don't leave a lot of money in the bank. They don't leave a lot of money in the bank. They leave enough, that's a rule of thumb, have a 6 months to a year to cover your expenses. Yeah. But a lot of these guys and girls, man, they are investing in real estate, commercial real estate, investing in other businesses, investing in mutual funds. Because at the end of the day, if money in the bank, particularly not even money that's drawing interest, you're literally losing money, right? Because you understand the value of money. Yeah. If inflation is 3%, right, and you ain't getting 3% of your money, you're literally losing money. Right. Right? So if you understand that concept, why am I just going to let money be idling?
Yeah. It's got to be at work.
Let it be at work. And a lot of these vehicles that these guys and girls are doing, it's passive. It's passive anyway.
Yeah.
So they ain't having to actually work for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, at the end of the day, you can have, prime example, you can have a home equity line of credit readily available.
Yeah.
If you, God forbid, you have an emergency, boom, there's your money right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now don't get me wrong, yeah, still have some cash. I'm not saying don't have no savings, but you get to a point, it's like people just like, oh man, I like looking at it. Mm-hmm. Why?
Wrong mindset.
Yeah, why you just like looking at it?
Yeah, ain't never had nothing, just want to see it.
I know people like, oh man, I got $250,000. Cool.
Why?
What is it doing for you?
Yeah.
Why?
Just sitting there.
Yeah, what is that doing for you?
Yeah, it's not the right mindset.
You know what you can do with that $250,000, man?
Yeah.
So
put it to work.
But I'd say I don't know everybody's story. I don't know their journey. I don't know what they've been through.
Right.
So I'm not here to judge you. But your question, my most successful people, successful business people, they're putting it in assets, specifically assets that appreciate or assets that make more money for them. Mm-hmm. They're not leaving a lot of money in the bank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, don't get me wrong. And I don't even judge people for the cars they drive because then I know people, they take expensive vacations.
Yeah, yeah.
So whatever's your thing, that's your thing.
Right.
I'm not one to wear my money. I don't subscribe to that. But if that keeps you motivated, do it.
Do what you can.
Do what you need to do. But just make sure that it's not that lifestyle is not holding you back from going to that next level.
Man, I just love the fact that, that part, but I also love the fact that that's not necessarily what the most successful people are doing. And that's always fascinating to me because what I've said on some other podcasts is that I think, and especially for black people, and this could be an overgeneralization, but I don't know if black people especially, really want to be millionaires. I think rather they want to spend $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
Which is actually
100%.
And I was talking to my friend about this. Is what's fascinating? It's actually the exact opposite of being a millionaire. Like a millionaire actually is worth $1 million, but spending $1 million, okay, you no longer have the million.
Right.
So it's polar opposites. And so when we think about what we actually want, but because of what we see the culture, blow money, all this sort of thing. We don't even know what we actually. What we think we want, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be caked up, da-da-da-da-da. But the behaviors and the characteristics of people that actually have it are much different than what we assume it would be.
That is such a good point. You're right. We don't want $1 million. You want to spend $1 million. You hit the nail on the head. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Because think about it. We want the money to flaunt it and spend it.
Yeah.
So then we don't really want the money.
You really don't want the money.
Like, don't even give me money. Just give me a card with unlimited money and I'm good. But I don't actually want it.
Right. I just
want to get it right back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
No, but that is such a culture thing, dude. Yeah. And we could have a whole nother episode on that.
Yeah, we could.
I mean, but I think it really boils back to it's financial literacy though. It's financial literacy.
Yeah.
That is the driver. Because if you understand financial literacy, it don't matter what rap song lyric you listen to.
Right. Now you can really know that's just entertainment.
Yeah, that's entertainment.
That ain't my real thinking on this topic.
It's some rapper, man, some songs, you say something like, F credit, I get money. What? Why you telling young girls credit don't matter, just get money? How you getting the money?
Right, exactly.
It's like, that don't even make sense. So, and unfortunately we feed into this stuff. Mm-hmm. And we continue to be behind.
Yeah. Oh, I hate it. We do need to do another episode, so we need to get that on the schedule because I know we're running out of time. But give the folks, this has been great, by the way.
Oh, yeah, for me
Thank you again for coming. The gems you have dropped have been massive. I mean, it's just, I can't wait for this to get clipped up and put out because I think this is, especially coming from you and the perspective you have and being in the industry you're in, I mean, this is gold. So people who really want to do better, maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know you don't necessarily buy a car at a dealership. You can buy it at the bank and pick it up at the dealership.
That's all you're doing. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. And you what did you say? You tell them I'm paying cash actually.
Cash.
Yeah.
Cash, tag, title, and fees out the door.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. And if you don't need to know note.
And I'm gonna tell you one quick thing. Sometimes you use dealership 1 to negotiate it to almost where you want it, and you walk away. And you go to dealership 2 and say, look, because at this point, this is what I want. If you can't, and I'm gonna tell you this: when you go to dealership one, Tim, say I'm gonna go to this dealership. Just put a name to. I'm gonna go to Hall. I'm gonna go to Hendrix, because they know. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Look him in the eye when you say it.
I look him in the eye.
You don't do it. I know. I know my man. He's gonna do it. Man, they gonna do it.
I'm gonna go to Hendrix.
I had a guy, man. He called me 3 times away. I said, "Nah, bro, nope. You blew it.
You blew it, bro."
I bought the car. He called me. I said, "I got it." Well, what did you get? Why it matter? I didn't buy it from you. At this point, you harassing me, dude. So it's just like, yeah, man, hey, we gotta be guarded, dude. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, who gonna do it?
Nobody. You can get taken advantage of at every turn with a smile.
Right.
Hey, I just took advantage of you.
You won too, boy. You know how good you gotta be to take advantage of somebody, shake their hand, and make them think they won. and then they go brag about, yo, man, go talk to my man at the dealership. Right. He's great.
He's great.
He's a great guy. He's a great father, family figure. He just got you.
Hey, right. Oh, man.
Hey, man.
This is gold.
Yeah.
This is gold, because I think when some people get exposed to this, it will change their thinking. Not everybody. Some people going to hear it and still do the same thing, but somebody's going to hear this and be like, man, I need to do something different.
Right.
So I want to thank you for that. But before we go, what's any final thoughts, anything you would just leave people with in terms of folks that are on that entrepreneurial journey, business owners, folks that are trying to get a firm financial foundation?
Right.
If you only had one more thing to say, what would you tell them?
I would say structure, man. I would say be properly structured before you jump into your business, which is so tempting to do. I had a one of my clients brought his son to me on it was Thursday or Friday and said before he said he got a great idea. He said, but I want to, before he even gets started, lay the foundation for growth. Because a lot of times, when you are into your business and now you starting to scale and money coming in, it's hard to go back and get your stuff together. When I say structure, I'm talking, how is your business set up is it an LLC or a C Corp? Right? Are your shares and your ownership, is it properly allocated, right? Do you have a bookkeeper that's there with you from day one? Because sometimes you don't need a CPA starting out, but a bookkeeper because you want to make sure you got your interim financials, right? You have a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet. Are you making money during the year? A lot of business owners don't even know if they're making money.
Right.
How do you not know if you're making money? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? Have your payroll specialist. If you want to do QuickBooks, right? I say, look, if you're in an LLC, your business run through you. Are you W-2? Maybe not the first year, but then W-2 yourself.
Yeah. Even if you're paying yourself, to your point,
yourself,
you might need a payroll specialist even for yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna make sure that you got all the taxes stuff together, right? Another thing too, then the proper way to pay yourself in a business is a distribution through your K1s, right? When you get to that point.
Yeah.
Right? When you do a C Corp or S Corp. And the biggest thing too is don't commingle personal funds and business funds. You know what I'm saying? People don't get that because now at that point, if someone come after you, see an LLC gives you that legal protection from a liability standpoint. But if you commingling personal and business funds, they got this thing called you piercing the corporate veil.
Yeah.
So at that point, you've literally negated the effect of an LLC.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm not going on a whole nother conversation. What I'm saying is so that your question is when you start your business, or if you're already in it, press the pause button for a season of time and say, am I structured properly?
Yeah.
From a tax standpoint, a how I compensate myself standpoint, a paper trail standpoint, right? And do I have these people in place that I can call on when if anything hit the fan, for lack of better terms? Structured, man, structure. Being structured properly will save you a lot of headaches, sleepless nights, a lot of costs associated with not being structured right. And then as you grow and you scale, it'd be easier because you ordered and you done set up all your buckets properly.
That's beautiful.
And of course, again, incorporate a banker, a financial planner, an accountant. Have those people in that corner. And then last point too, have secondary people because it's nothing more frustrating than let's say your banker or your accountant or somebody that you rely on, they go MIA or they retire. Always make sure you got a secondary point of contact that knows enough that if that happen, you can continue. So like when you come to me, I'll make sure you always know another banker. Yeah. Because I'm on vacation or I'm out, whatever the case be, I don't want to leave you stranded. So always make sure you got secondary contacts too. They ain't necessarily part of the team per se, but they're an extension of that person. Yeah. So then it don't miss a beat. Should you have to kind of, yeah.
Bro, you got so many gems. I don't even know what to call this.
This is good for me because it make me remember. I'm like, dang. I'm listening to myself like, I need to write this down.
I need to do this too.
I'm like the mechanic with the worst call on the block. I need to do this for myself now that I think about it.
Look, y'all, this is the journey, man. Thanks again, Jack. I mean,
sir.
this has
Pleasure
been
being
great,
here.
man. This is, I'm trying to think what we're going to call this. Conversations with your bank. Conversations you should have with your banker. Things the bank don't want you to know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you want.
I don't know.
The bank ain't the enemy.
The bank we did. So this is good because we think that it's a victim mentality.
Right.
Things the bank don't want you to know, and that might get a lot of clicks.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the bank would probably
They actually want you to know.
they want you to know this.
Right.
You want me to come correct.
Right. I don't want you to know this stuff because then you're going to come to me.
Yeah, the right way.
Right. So really, I mean, I think it's on the employees to care.
Yeah.
But my bank, they want me to have these because like, yo, yeah, that value.
Yeah.
That's what brings you to the table with a relationship. And now I'm a bank with you, your kids' kids.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell your other business partners, you're gonna become what's called a center of influence of me. Mm-hmm. Because now you've seen the value in what I do, and you're gonna tell everybody. And the number one referral source is a referral from a satisfied customer in any line of work.
Yeah.
That's more important than a cold call, a lead. If you tell a family member or friend, hey, Jack at the bank did a good job, they're more likely statistically to come talk to me because of the strength of what you said.
Yeah.
So I want you to know.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it, man. That's it, y'all. As always, get with a banker. You're going to get...
So one takeaway.
You're going to get blessed. All right, until next time, y'all. It's your boy, StephenMotivate. Thanks, Jack.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it.
Stay motivated. Peace.